Hi community of awesome, I'm Ava J and this is Bookish Pixie. So lately I've had a couple requests for vlogs on setting and world building. I haven't talked much about world building before, if only because it's such a huge topic that I didn't know how in the world I'd cover it in 4 minutes, and then I realized I didn't have to. So today I'm going to kick off a series of 4 vlogs focused on world building, starting with this one. So first of all, what is world building? World building is basically the world that an author creates for their book that is the universe that their characters live in. So in each vlog, I'm going to talk about different sections you should think about when creating the world for your book. And in the last vlog, I'm going to talk about how to incorporate everything into your writing. So here we go. 1. Setting. What is your world? What is the landscape like? If you're building it from scratch, is it a Pangea, a bunch of continents, an archipelago, something else? Whatever the answer is, you want to know what the physical world of your book looks like. The lay of the land affects just about everything, so this is a step I like to start with. Once you figured out what the physical world looks like, then you want to move on to 2. Climate. Does your story take place in the rainforest, the desert, some mountains, the Arctic? Does your climate vary, like in some places around the world where there are 4 distinct seasons? Or are there primarily 1 or 2 climates? You need to know what the climate looks like because that's going to determine what people wear, what they eat, what kind of homes they live in, what the world looks like. So it's pretty important. In Beyond the Red, Eros and Cora live in the desert, so the seasons they're used to are warm, hot, really friggin' hot, and a couple rainy days. That then affects what they eat and what they wear and a bunch of little details, so make sure you know what the climate in your book is like. 3. History. Who played important roles in the development of the history? Who are your historical heroes and villains? How did your society come to be? What people were really important in the development of your society? This is going to be really important for you to know because the past is context for the present, and those historical heroes and villains are going to be really helpful when you're naming months, for example, or certain cities. For example, in our own history, we know that the months July and August were named after Julius and Augustus Caesar. And in the United States, we know that Washington State and Washington, D.C. were both named after George Washington. History will often play a role into laws that the society has, how the society is structured, what their government is like, how they interact with each other, etc. History can also play into your society's mythology or legends, which can make your world feel more real. 4. Other countries and cultures. Are there other countries and cultures besides the one that your main character is comfortable with and lives in? Do these other countries get along with each other? Are they very friendly in trade, or do they pretend to be friendly and actually spy on each other, or are they constantly at war? These are the kind of questions you want to be asking yourself when developing a fully furnished world. 5. Ethnicities. Is your world monoethnic? If not, is one ethnicity considered more desirable than the other? Is there an ethnicity that's worshipped or persecuted? These kind of questions are going to affect how your character sees the world, how they see other people, and how other people see them. In Beyond the Red, for example, there are 2 major species on Safara, which is the world that the book takes place in. The humans and the Sephiron. The Sephiron are the top species because they're the natives to the planet, and they consider humans intrusive. And even though by the time Beyond the Red starts, the humans have been there for generations and generations, it has massively affected the way their society is structured. It also really affects the way Eros and Cora interact with each other and look at each other, because Cora is a Sephiron monarch, whereas Eros is half human and half Sephiron, which isn't even allowed, and he was raised by humans. So this is an example of how the background information of species or race interaction can really affect your characters, and not only their worlds and how they're treated, but how they treat each other. So that's the first part of the world building series. If you guys liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I'll see you guys next week with part 2. Bye!